Fans of LC2C clamor for Dr. Chivago segments on Fridays. Dr. David Chow from SoCaliCal and SixScore.com joins us on a weekly basis to break it all down in the world of sports with injuries. And if you're not following SixScore.com, you're a loser. You can follow Doc Chow at Pro Football Doc, and he's always wondered why the fans call him Dr. Chivago, because he's top shelf status. All right, Doc, let's start with this. George Kittle says he's playing, but you guys have him with a 75-6 score. Do you think he'll be effective or hampered by that hammy throughout the game in Lambeau?
Well, I don't ever want to doubt George Kittle. He's as tough as they come, and he's going to do his best, and he's guaranteed he's playing, so he's going to play. But I don't believe for 1 second last week's injury was just hamstring tightness. He's got a hamstring strain. That was all a ruse last week. He wasn't playing against Seattle. He is going to play this week. How much, how well? Look, he's really important to the run game and the blocking scheme, so he's going to do that for sure. So our 6 score is, for fantasy players, DFS players, expect maybe 75% of a fully healthy George Kittle and factor that in.
Sam Laporta looks like he'll be able to make it back for the Lions, making them even stronger offensively. Is that about right?
Yeah, he's got an AC joint sprain. Look, the Lions have so many weapons. He could have played in previous weeks, but why rush him back? The Lions are boat racing everyone. He's healthy again. Full go for Laporta this week.
Darnell Mooney got forced out of last week's game with a hammy. Is he going to be back catching passes for the Dirty Birds this week?
Guarantee you no, because the Falcons have a bye. Next week, we'll see, right? But this week, obviously, he won't catch a pass. Bet on it. Bet the house.
That is fantastic news, knowing that he's not playing at all, that we can make money. Mike Evans is allegedly going to play, but only a 49-6 score. Is he going to be typical Mike Evans or more of a decoy?
It's hard to be typical Mike Evans because Mike Evans is so good. We've seen him before play through hamstrings and just be red zone targets. So people got excited with the FP on Thursday, but today back to LP, limited practice. We don't think he's 100% at all. He's playing through because he's a Hall of Famer, because he's a gamer. That's why we have him at 49% right now, 49 on the 6 score. Think he's somewhat of a decoy for this game.
Keenan Allen rolled his ankle today, allegedly, at the Bears practice, and Swift is dealing with a groin problem, but he practiced. What's their status for Sunday against the Vikings?
Well, they're both heading towards playing. More concern for DeAndre Swift with the groin, with all the cutting he has to do. Keenan's a vet. He's not relying on separation to get open. He's relying on his guile, and I think he can get through the ankle. More worry for DeAndre Swift. And the Bears, their offensive line, they get Jenkins back, so they get a little bit healthier, but they still have some issues.
Josh Jacobs was limited in practice for the Packers, and Jair Alexander says he has a tear on his PCL on the defensive side of the ball. Will they be missing one or both of these guys for this game?
Well, they're going to miss one for sure, Jair. He returned last week, didn't finish the game with the same knee issue. That doesn't bode well. It wouldn't shock me if he went on IR even, so we'll have to see on that. It's been several weeks already for Alexander. PCL not good for a corner. Look at Puka. Look at other examples of PCLs around the league. Josh Jacobs, he's usually powered through his muscle injuries and likely to this week.
Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa are both listed as questionable for the Bolts. What's the health status of their defense going into the Harbaugh Bowl on Monday?
Yeah, I call it the Brother Bowl, right? The two brothers. But in any case, Khalil Mack hasn't played in the last couple weeks. I think he's on the iffy side with his groin issue. Joey Bosa has played through with his hip issue, but has not been 100%. But boy, the other D linemen have sure picked up the slack for Jim Harbaugh's crew.
Aiden Hutchinson released a video of him walking on that broken leg. How is his recovery going, and can he make it back for the playoffs for Detroit?
I'd love to see Aiden Hutchinson back, and it's great that he's walking in water that shows normal rehab progress, but that does not equate to walking on water. Look, it's just asking too much. It's part of normal rehab to be in the pool, partial weight bearing when you're at the NFL level. And wait for the excitement when you see him on the sideline of a Lions game sometime in late December. Oh, he's back. But an edge rusher at the best, at the highest levels, that's just a tall order still. Could he make it back for a Super Bowl appearance if the Lions make it? If the Lions make it, they should activate him and let him play a couple snaps, but he won't be Pro Bowl Aiden Hutchinson, which is why the Lions went out and got Zadarius Smith, because they knew he wouldn't be back, including all the playoffs.
So let's talk about Alex Ovechkin for a minute. Ovi broke his leg in D.C. as he tries to catch Wayne Gretzky. Is that the worst injury for a guy like him at his age, or is it the same type of heel, no matter how old you are, 6 to 8 weeks for a fracture?
Well, I don't know about you, Scott, but for me, 40 sounds really young, okay? I think he's a young man, so right. In my world. Right? The definition of young is younger than the doctor, right? But in any case, it's a fibula fracture. Aiden Hutchinson was the big bone, the weight-bearing bone, tibia. This is a non-weight-bearing bone for Ovechkin. 4-6 weeks or so is not unrealistic. It's pain tolerance. It will heal. No surgery. Yes, he's elderly in the hockey world, but expect a full recovery. Merry Christmas or Happy New Year, either way.
You think he'll catch Gretzky when he comes back and do it this season, or is he going to need another season?
Well, I don't know. Maybe another season. I mean, look, we all saw Mike Tyson at 58. I'm not calling Ovechkin 58, but he's not Ovechkin of old, so it might take a little more time.
Tyson looked horrible. I mean, he couldn't even take
And we told you at Sports Injury Central. We said Jake Paul plus 275 decision. We told everyone our analysis.